briefly on.
Yeah, but the fifth round, but everyone's been waiting for who's gonna get Shadur Sanders, and the Browns end up pulling the trigger and getting Shadur Sanders just 2 rounds after drafting Dylan Gabriel. Um, if you watched the draft room as this came in, they did not look thrilled. That's why people are suggesting that maybe it came from the owner to go in and get him.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the MPP, the Noam Patrick podcast, and this is episode number 31. 231 episodes. Wow, where has the time gone? Am I right?
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Am I right? Who else is
Right.
having fun on this fine Saturday morning, actually, for us?
Woot woot.
Big day in sports. Today it is the Kentucky Derby. One of the events that I really want to go to. It's always, you know, I don't. It's not been a dream of mine. I'm just saying, it just
It
looks
would be
super
cool to go.
cool. It just looks like a party, and there's horses racing. It looks fun. You dress up. Uh, the
It's a
women
whole
wear funky
event.
hats. You know.
If you got money, you're at the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, but also I would want to go to the Kentucky Derby and be like in a suite in a hospitality. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
stand on a track and you can barely see, you know. So,
yeah.
but we'll talk
And you
about
gotta
that. I
put a
don't
lot
know
of
if
money on a
Noah,
horse.
huh?
And you gotta put a lot of money on a horse.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't mind owning a horse one day. Part owner, minority owner.
The MPP horse.
Yeah, that's right.
And the MPP pulls ahead, and he wins
Coming
it.
down to the wire.
Oh, you're pretty sick.
I don't know if Noah has a favorite in the race today. Um, but we'll get to our picks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got a couple things on the dock about the Kentucky Derby. Uh, but with that being said, other things going on, the NBA playoffs still going on. Couple NBA news as well. But we'll start with Noah's headlines. And it looks like we got something with Shadur Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, Senator Sanders' big talk last week. The talk continues because he did get a fake. I think we talked about it last week also. He got a fake call about being drafted. I think it's to the Saints,
Yeah.
and that was being investigated because um, I don't know if all draft. I don't think all draftees, but if you're expected to be a high draft pick, the NFL gives you a special phone only for the calls from the NFL teams, and the number is only in an NFL personnel's system.
Yeah.
Like it's not a public number that anyone can just grab. So when it's prank called, it has to be taken from a specific person. At least Shadur Sanders was, that scenario where his phone wasn't out there. It was specifically for uh the NFL personnel team to call him. And
Yeah.
the video did surface of the people who called Shadur, and in the background, you see someone laughing about it. It turns out to be Jeff Ulbricht's son, the defensive coordinator for the Falcons, and they looked into it. It turned out he was the one who got the phone number from his dad's like team iPad or whatever
Yeah.
it
Team
was.
iPad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
and
wide open. Just
yeah, just
there for
I mean,
browsing.
and this isn't like a teenager. This is a 21-year-old man here, taking a phone number for a prank call. I think when I was younger, the only time we ever prank called with my friends was maybe in the sixth grade was the last time it happened. I don't even, it might have even been earlier. I'm just
Elementary
thinking,
school. Well, you know, probably middle school.
I don't, I like after that, I haven't even thought about prank calling anyone's. I don't even think throughout whole high school, I don't think I ever thought about prank calling anybody.
Yeah,
Um,
I would have to agree.
But yeah, he's trying to impress his friends over there in college, probably the frat bros. Um, but trying to impress them, they he cost the Falcons $250,000 and his dad was fined $100,000. And I did see a post saying that after taxes, I think his dad makes 800,000. So he cost him 1/8 of his salary to prank call Shitter Sanders. But it's not the only prank call that was that weekend. It's just the only one where they've been able to find um,
Who actually did it?
who got the number, But apparently it happens all the time. All
Yeah.
these prank calls. I know it happened last year a couple times. I remember seeing that. But apparently it happened like multiple times this year also. Abdul Carter apparently got called about saying he was getting drafted by the Jaguars, but he already knew that it was fake. He was going to go to the Giants. And it kind of brought up the idea that should teams even be calling players that they're going to pick before they're picked? And should it just go back to them finding out when
When they
it's just
know.
announced? Yeah.
Yeah, I would. So supposedly the NFL is also like investigating like how they what personnel actually get these numbers too. I guess like the whole team has access to like all these draftees numbers, and the point was like, why does a defensive coordinator have a quarterback number? Like
Yeah.
it's not even your side of the ball. So I think the NFL is trying to look into, maybe just the coach and like the
It's strictly
owner or the
GM
GM
coach.
or
Yeah.
something should just have these numbers sent to them. Like why does everyone need to know? But yeah, it's like it's a tradition, that the team calls them. They're like, "Oh my God, I'm getting drafted." So
Yeah.
I don't know. And like ESPN or all the networks have to know because, you know,
Yeah.
so they know what camera they go to. So I don't, it doesn't really bother me. I'm never going to be drafted in the NFL. So,
Yeah.
I
You're
don't
gonna get prank
worry
called.
about getting the phone call or not. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it really matters, like you said. I think keeping it to the GM and the head coach, maybe the owner, but I don't think the owner ever really calls them. But yeah, like those three are the main people who should have it. But also the fact that it takes a long like the picks come in like almost right away
yeah,
usually,
takes
like
5 minutes.
especially when they know like I think they said Cam Ward the pick was locked in like when the timer started, but they have to wait for TV and all this stuff. So that's why stuff like this can just like get leaked. That's why the picks get leaked out so easy. Um, all these calls happen. But um, yeah, I mean, it'd be cool. I think if they found out when they get drafted like on TV because you actually see the genuine reaction like right then and there, and it's more a surprise to everybody also because they show them get the call sometimes. You're like, oh well, it's him. They got picked.
Yeah.
But
But there are some surprises. Well, not surprises, but it's it's still like a genuine reaction because like the
yeah,
guy's
they
still
see
getting the
it.
call. So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just unfortunate. And then of course
yeah,
the Shadir Sanders, and it's fifth round already, and yeah,
yeah. It was just blown up a lot more. Yeah, because like shitters fell to the fifth and got prank called by the Saints. Like stuff like that. So. Um, Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything will change, but maybe they will limit the amount of people that the numbers are available to. Next, we got the NBA playoffs. Second round starts Monday. We got two game sevens. We have the Clippers playing tonight, Clippers Nuggets playing tonight, and then the Warriors and Rockets playing Sunday night. So two great games. The series have been great for both teams, and those are the only two teams we're waiting for. But quick recap: Thunder Grizzly 4-0 sweep.
yeah,
Lakers Timberwolves 5 game Timberwolves won. Cavs Heat 4-0 sweep. Indy 5 games. Pacers win. The Knicks s sneak out against the Pistons. I think some of these wins were three and under, like a lot of them, for
Yeah, I
both
think it was
both
a
teams.
total like 6 points. Pistons won, like total
Yeah,
total amount of points.
yeah, and I think the only game that wasn't really close was the first game, and that was when the Knicks had to come back when the Pistons were beating them in the first half. So, and then Boston also a 5 game series beating the Magic. So, second round, Thunder versus whoever they play next. I don't think it matters. Those two teams beat each other up. I got the Thunder moving on to the semis or conference finals.
Yeah. Um, I would say I don't know. I guess the Clippers would be a better matchup for the Thunder since I don't know. Nuggets, Clippers. I guess it'd be Clippers, yeah. But Thunder, they've had what 2 weeks off since the last time they played a
Yeah,
game. Gonna
they might
be
come in a little cold,
yeah, maybe a little cold in the first quarter, but they're a
rusty.
pretty strong team. So um, got the Thunder there. If between the Rockets and the Warriors, we'll save that. I got a lot of thoughts on that. If you want to hear my
Okay,
thoughts,
okay, that'll be last.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, th Thunder. I think yeah, the best game would probably best matchup would be the Clippers. We kind of seen how the Nuggets have struggled against Zubac, so I can't even imagine them going against Hardenstein and Chet. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, dude, Chet was on fire. That I think was it the last game. He had
Yeah, yeah.
four or five
Where they
threes.
came back and won it
Yeah,
and to sweep. Yeah, he was popping off in the fourth quarter. Cavs Pacers. I think it might be closer than we think. The Pacers have been playing really well, but I do think the Cavs win in maybe 6.
yeah. I'm excited for this one. It's not going to get as much coverage as probably the Knicks Celtics. But yeah, the Pacers are a hot team coming off beating the Bucks. I think it's gonna go, yeah, 6 or 7. I think I got. Let's go the Pacers. Why not? Shock the world.
Pacers upset.
Yeah,
And then Knicks Celtics. I think the Knicks match up really well with the Celtics. They have OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, both can switch onto Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown pretty easily. Great defenders. Cat going up against Porzingis or Horford. I got Cat all day. The only thing is Brunson might get held um, by Derek White. So that's the big question mark is Jalen Brunson against Derek White and probably Jalen Brown at some points. He's their offense, basically. So if
yeah,
he can't get it going, it's going to be hard for
yeah,
them to beat the Celtics. And the Celtics have really good defense.
yeah. I mean
So
the Knicks,
I got Knicks in 7.
Knicks and 7, nice. I got the Knicks only beat the Pistons like we said, like very small margin.
Yeah.
So and that was the Pistons. I know they're up and coming team still, but the Celtics, it's a whole new ball game. I gotta go Celtics in 6.
So you got Pacers, Celtics. I got Cavs, Knicks. Um, and then last but not least, Timberwolves with the the surprising upset. All games were pretty close except for the first one
Yeah,
in that series. Um, LeBron got hurt at the end there. Apparently, he wouldn't have played the rest of the series anyways because he had a sprained MCL, which is like a 3-week recovery period after his contact with DiVincenzo. So that series might have been over anyways if the Lakers won that game. But Rockets Warriors game 7. Warriors up 3-1. Rockets have inserted Steven Adams, and Steve Kerr just has no idea what to do. Interesting decision to foul out or put the
Hackashack.
foul Hackashack on Steven Adams with your only other center basically that plays post. Your only 7-footer out there. If you're not, I mean, might as well put Looney in there to foul him.
Yeah,
and then just take him out and bring Post in or something. I don't know,
a
but
lot of up and down on that bench.
yeah,
Go
um,
in, go out, go in, go out.
yeah.
Um,
Rockets are gonna be at home, Game 7. I think Rockets win it.
at this point, it was fun and all. The Warriors went up 3-1, 3-1. Uh, there was a lot of hope. I think, the Warriors were supposed to win Game 6 last night, and they didn't. And now going back to the Houston Rockets, like how I look at it is even if the Warriors win on Sunday, I think they're so tired. You can already see it. There's like
Tough series.
fatigue.
Yeah,
They had to play like every game, the last 10 games were basically a playoff game for them, and they didn't even make, they had to still go into the
yeah.
play-in.
They went to play-in.
Yeah, so I mean, these guys have to be exhausted, and I won't be upset if they lose on Sunday because of that reason. Like, I think if they even make it to the next round, the Timberwolves have a lot of rest. They just beat the Lakers, who the Lakers were supposed to win, in five, what people were saying. So
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough matchup if even if they make it to the next round. But yeah, last night's game, like they just looked defeated already. Like no energy, no passion. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I don't. And then even if they beat the Timberwolves, then you have to face the Thunder. Like
yeah. I think
it's over. GG's.
yeah, yeah. It's over. But yeah, like I said, even if they win, I don't think they really have a chance because of Timberwolves. But um, I just think it'd be a great series. Timberwolves, Rockets, two young teams, two teams that are probably going to take over the West for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
With
dude,
how young
Amen
the teams are.
Thompson is a beast. And
Yeah, and then you have like the Amon Thompson versus Anthony Edwards is going to be insane. That's
yeah,
because he's definitely going to be my best defender against the best scorer, and I think the Rockets might win this against the Timberwolves, but I don't know. 7 games. I think I'll go Rockets in 7 again against the Timberwolves.
um, I'll go. Man, I'll go Timberwolves again. Just make it different than us. It's gonna be a great
Yeah,
series.
it
Either
might
way,
be 7 no matter what.
Timberwolves, yeah, 7 probably. Yeah, it should be fun. Anthony Edwards, hopefully, he has these big games like he did against the Lakers. So good to see. And crazy. The squad for the Timberwolves now is just wild. It changed so
Yeah,
much since what was it just last year, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had
Rudy.
who did they trade? Oh, they traded Cat.
Yeah, they
They
traded.
they brought in DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, a lot of changes on the squad, and DiVincenzo really wasn't doing anything all year until the playoffs,
Yeah.
and he played well in the first couple games. But I think the best series, Timberwolves, Rockets potentially, and Knicks Celtics will both
Yeah.
be
I have to agree.
great series.
Yeah, it should be fun. We'll see what happens Sunday, right?
Yeah, Monday.
Or tonight's Nuggets Clippers.
Yeah, and then Sunday is
Rockets
Rockets
Warriors.
Warriors.
Yeah, yeah.
And then last but not least, Giannis and Milwaukee, like we said, 5 games done. Potentially Giannis's last game for the Bucks. He hasn't asked for a trade. It doesn't seem like he will ask for a trade, but Milwaukee's kind of just not going anywhere. They're stuck in this Chicago Bulls territory where they uh they're good enough to make the playoffs, but they can't win in the playoffs. The only difference is they have a star in Giannis, so they have a chance to rebuild, reset, um, kind of just go any direction they want. They can go and get a lot of picks. They can go and get a couple of young players, um, young players who aren't as great, but and also get picks, you know. Um, and they also have a chance to send this star to a team like the Rockets, who are kind of desperate for a star. Jalen Green uh, is the guy, is who they want to be the guy, but he kind of just disappears. Like he had that 40-point game.
Yeah.
Now he just doesn't really. He kind of just goes quiet, you know. Um, a team like that, the Spurs have been talked about, which would be absolutely insane. Um, obviously the Lakers are in there, and then the Nets, interesting, and the Knicks, apparent because apparently he loves New York. But um, is he done in Milwaukee?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. What I heard someone say is that when Milwaukee, this has happened to Milwaukee in previous years, back like with Oscar Robinson, they trade away Kareem,
Yep.
and like they never made the playoffs for like 40 years after that. So that's kind of worrisome, you know, if you trade away Giannis. You know, Milwaukee's such a small market, so you know if
Yeah.
they have to get lucky in the draft, and they will definitely get a lot of first round picks for Giannis. But you know it's hard to pull the trigger on that since you know Milwaukee has a great fan base. I mean, so you know it's hard. You have one of the
Yeah.
top. It's like kind of like a Luka trade, basically, but probably even more because Giannis is,
He's been there
uh,
for like 10 years.
yeah, he got drafted by Milwaukee, so um, or trade away, what, like Damian Lillard leaving Portland, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna have that type of impact, but I think you just trade him. It's so hard. Like I don't. They try to get pieces, you know. They try to get Damian Lillard with Giannis, and he got injured. Unfortunately, he's probably gonna miss the whole next year. So
Yeah.
he's still on contract too. So you can't really do much. Bring like another star in there. You
You
might as
give
well
him a
just
first round pick swap for Kyle Kuzma. Uh, so you don't
or
have your if
tra-
you're bad, you don't have a good pick.
yeah, trade away Chris Middleton. He was old. Yeah, it sounds like me and you we're trading Giannis for GMs.
Yeah, I think you do owe it to Giannis to ask him what he wants. Is like, are you fine getting traded?
Yeah,
Um, and do you have a couple preferences? But I think for Milwaukee, the best place would be to the Rockets because they have the Suns picks, and you can probably get all of the Suns picks and
yeah,
how bad they are, um, and how bad they're going to be with that Bradley Beal contract. Kevin Durant probably getting traded, and Devin Booker's probably on the out at some point also. So, um, we'll see. I think that it'll end up being like, hey, Giannis, are you okay with this? And then they'll do it. They won't treat it like the Luka situation because we've seen what happens when you do this to a fan base.
so bad. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, but that kind of leads into the Halliburton's dad situation where he confronted him on the court. The team or he has decided to not go to any more playoff games. But I think the NBA should have stepped in and said, "You're done with playoff games," just to kind of set a precedent that you can't just come out onto the court. I don't care if you're the dad of LeBron
Tyrese.
James or whoever, you can't just go out there and act like that to a opposing player.
Yeah, Giannis didn't even know that was Halliburton's dad. You know, he thought it was just some
At
random
first,
fan.
yeah.
So
He was, yeah, shout out to
yeah,
Giannis, he handled it really well.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
He is suspended for the playoff, or he's
The
taking himself out from going to the
I
playoffs.
thought that
So
I thought the Pacers put that out there that they suspended him.
yeah, I don't know if he got suspended or they talked to him about it and they decided to that he shouldn't go. So
Yeah,
technically he's not suspended. He's just yeah. But I think the NBA should have done it because they should have like made a point right there. Like you can't do this.
yeah, definitely. Other news. Another person. You know, with the Lakers losing 4-1 against the Timberwolves, did we see LeBron James play his last game? As a Laker, uh, I think he'll play one more year. Uh, you get a full year with Luca. You know, once everyone gets healthy, maybe you bring in maybe a center this next year.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe
they'll actually bring in a
yeah,
center.
maybe Mark Williams actually comes to the team. He probably deny that. Actually, he's like, I don't want to deal with that. Um, I think he gives it one more go. Um, you know, I don't know if they can bring enough pieces in to compete for a championship. They'll definitely play a playoff team with Luka and LeBron. No question about that. But um, I don't think it's his last year, and I think he would want to do like a farewell tour, right? There's no way
Yeah.
you don't. I don't think you go off. You go into the sunset this previous last game. There's no way.
Yeah, I know he's said like, oh, I don't know if I want to like a whole tour thing, but the dude is one of the two greatest players to ever play basketball. You know,
Yeah,
arguably the best player to ever play basketball. I mean, he holds so many records in the NBA. Just give him a tour. Like, just
yeah,
take the tour, even if you don't want it. Just take the tour. Um, but yeah, I think like you said, one more year. Shams did come out and say that he's most likely not going to retire, even though LeBron hasn't. He said he's still thinking about it,
yeah.
but
Talk to his family.
yeah. And I think he stays. But I don't know. A lot of speculation saying he'll stay an extra year after for his son for Bryce potentially who can come out. He went to Arizona. But I don't know. I think he's kind of. I think he's just kind of over it. He's been doing this for what, 23 years or whatever it
Yeah,
is. Or also next year's year 23, so he goes out on 23, he wore 20, stuff like that. It's just those type of things that I think is probably gonna lead to him being done after
yeah.
next year.
And also too, I mean, he's not. He's still averaging like
Yeah. It was his worst year, I think, last year, and since his rookie year, and he averaged like 24, 6, and 7 or
yeah,
something like that. Like something insane.
yeah.
Um,
It's not like he's trying to limping to the finish line. He's not putting up 10 points a game, but yeah, it's just we'll see. Just need an official statement. That's what
yeah.
that's what we need.
Yeah.
Um, I guess finish off basketball, the talk of basketball before we get to the Kentucky Derby. Shaqtus, Big Diesel, agreed to become the GM of the Sacramento State basketball team, which is very interesting. Um, Sacramento State's applying to be an FBS school. They're still FCS, I think, until 2026 if that gets approved. But they hired Mike Bibby to be the coach of Sac State. They have Shaq's son, Sahir O'Neal, on the team
Yeah.
already, and they just got a big transfer in Mikey Williams from, I think he was at UCF. He was a star in high school. He was like I think the number one recruit coming out of high school.
He was a star in high school and then he got in trouble for something. I
Yeah,
don't remember. And I think he was out for a year. And he's back.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, he played limited for UCF.
So he'll be on the team for Sac State, and Sac State's trying to build a powerhouse.
Yeah,
Uh,
like you said, they've been trying so hard to become an FBS school. Um, they want to become part of the Pac-12. Pac-12 is trying to get back together. I don't know if they've announced all the teams that want to get in. It still takes a few years for it to happen, but um, they are one of the teams that's potentially able to get in there. Um, but yeah,
they're getting a lot
big
of
big
NIL
moves,
money. They're trying to
big
build a
moves.
football stadium. Like they're
They're
doing
going hard
everything
for
they
it.
can.
Yeah, they're trying so hard to get into this, and I think they will end up getting probably Pac-12, and
Yeah,
we'll see. They'll probably have, as long as they have a good year this next year, then I think they'll be in.
yeah. And I think I also saw. I don't know. I think it said that Shaq's is in a volunteer role. I don't think he's getting paid.
That's
by
crazy.
this.
There's no way. Look, we've seen what Shaq does. Do you know how many commercials Shaq's on? There's no way he's not getting paid anything for this.
Yeah,
He's all about the money.
yeah. I don't believe that, but I don't know. The one article that I did see, it said voluntary role as a basketball GM, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Uh, but yeah, so we'll see. Noah is a Sac State, going to be alumni here pretty soon. So Stingers
Hopefully.
are up. Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, volunteer. Maybe they're donating to something for him. Maybe something like that. It's not for free, for
Put
sure.
his name on the building.
Yeah, something's happening for him.
All right, finally we get to the Kentucky Derby. This is a nice thing that I saw on ESPN. The red is a pretender, gray is like maybe, and then green is one of the favorites. The biggest favorite of the Derby is journalism at 3-1. I saw he was 5-2 at one point.
Terrible name. He's not gonna win.
Huh?
Terrible name. He's not gonna win.
Journalism? Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
not
bad name.
not great. Supposedly in like the last 10 years, 35% of the winners of the favorites do actually win. 35%. So I don't think if you want to bet on the favorite, you can get your money elsewhere. Another person, Luxor Cafe. There's two Japan horses, Admire Daytona and Luxor Cafe. They're trying to make a break into the American horse racing. So, um, and another fun fact is that a horse in the 17 gate or 17 post has never won the Kentucky Derby. And a lot of people like this horse this year, Sandman, 6-1 odds. He's a gray and white horse, and his bloodlines are from American Pharaoh, who won the Triple Crown 10 years ago. So,
Oh,
oh, also too, another fun fact before I give my winner. Um, all these horses descend from the bloodlines. They're not directly from this horse, but everyone is related to Secretariat in this field.
wow.
So a lot of 20th cousins in this field, but everyone's related to
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about
Secretariat. a lot
that.
of a
Well,
lot of breeding.
yeah, I don't
That's
know. It's a
that's
little
like
too
30
close for
years ago.
comfort here.
Yeah.
All right,
So
who do you got winning?
I got to win. I'm gonna go with uh
Flying
I'm
Mohawk is sick name.
gonna go with to win. Why not? I'll go with Sandman. He popped up on my feed on TikTok too, and it's a cool horse. He was named after the song Sandman. So
Nice. Just a quick glance.
yeah.
Don't know anything about these. It just seems like the year for this with everything that's been going on. I'm going with American Promise. I know he's in the red. I know he's a
I
pretender,
like it.
but you're counting him out.
He
And
hasn't raced
American
in 7 weeks.
Promise, he's ready. He's rest up and he's ready to go.
Yeah, so his owner, American Promise, is 97 years old. Or 87
Oh,
years old.
he's got to get a win before he
He
goes.
he was on a horse out there with his with American Promise, just
It's
chilling.
just it's just all set up for him. It's
Yeah.
all rigged. Rigged for American Promise.
I also like Burnham Square. And also before this episode ends, Bob Baffert is back at the Kentucky Derby after serving a 3-year suspension. So don't be surprised that
Wow.
his horse wins. But yeah,
Citizen Bull.
Bob Baffert. It's not a great horse this year, but yeah, that,
Nice.
that is it for this episode.
So yeah.
Episode number 31.